Hey everyone, and welcome to another video of Terraform. My name is Chia from DevOps Easy Learning, and today we'll be going through Terraform provider. That means within the Terraform block, right? We basically define the Terraform require version and also the Terraform require provider. What are those? If you click on this icon here, it's going to take me to my GitHub repository, and I will make sure that I put the link of this GitHub repository in the description of this video, so that if you want to go ahead and follow exactly what I will be doing here, you are more than welcome to do so. Let me go ahead and kind of check out this GitHub repository already, and I have it local. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy the path and I will navigate to this, and upon this one is my VS Code. Let me move to the root of this repository, cd code, and this is the root of the repository. Now I can cd to this specific path and ls. Ls, that is what I have here. Let me go ahead here and open this in VS Code. Now, let me make sure that, yep, I am right there, because we kind of have this README file here in GitHub, right? Let's see. When you want to deploy something in Terraform, what happens is that you define something called a Terraform block. Within the Terraform block, you have a couple of stuff. You can define the required Terraform version that you want, and also the required providers, right? Because you can have multiple providers. Let's say you want to deploy maybe in AWS, the AWS provider, and what is the version that you want to download. You want to download something in between 3 but not 4. Something in between 3 but not 4. This is what this symbol means. I want to download a provider that is in between 3 but not greater than 4. It should be 3 dot something but not 4. Here, the Terraform version, we must have a Terraform version that is greater than or equal to 1.0.0, which means if you have something that is less, if your Terraform version is less than 1, you trigger Terraform, this is not going to work because of this require version, right? And if it is greater than 1, yes, this is going to work. Even it's the latest version, because we use the greater than or equal to 1. That means 1, it is included, it is not exclude. We not exclude 1 here because of this greater than or equal to 1. Here, let's say you want to deploy in Google. That is how you can set maybe a Google provider. Let's say you want to use a non-resource to deploy. This is a non-provider. Let's say you are deploying in Azure. This is how you can set up Azure provider. Let's say you are using Helm. You can set up a Helm provider, a Kubernetes provider. Let's say you want to deploy in DigitalOcean. You can set up a DigitalOcean provider with a required version. And that's why we say Terraform is multi-cloud, right? Terraform have providers for different cloud, and provider is just used to access the cloud provider API. And those are programmed with specific version that you can go ahead and download, right? Now, let us see this. Now, where are we going to download? Where are we going to deploy the resource? And that is where we set up this thing now called provider. And here we are deploying in AWS. The region is US is 1. And we can go ahead now and write the resource. Now, let us play now with provider a little bit. Let's say we have this Terraform block and we set up this, that hey, our Terraform version should be in between 1. I changed that already. This is not greater than or equal, which means the version should be in between 1. That means it should not be 2. And here, the provider that we want to download should be in between 3 dot something, but not 4. It should not be 4, right? And we'll go ahead and play a little bit and try to change the version of Terraform and see if it's going to work or not based on this README file. In that case, if we put it like that, and we're trying to check a Terraform version, if we use let us even start something. If we use something else, let us use something else and see what is going to, and see what will be the behavior. Here, I have Terraform version. If you say Terraform -- version, you guys will see that I am using Terraform 1 here. Now, if you open this again, the main.tf, you guys will see that we kind of want Terraform version that will be in between 1. Yeah, if you trigger with that, it is going to work. That means if you type Terraform init to initialize, Terraform init, this is going to work. Terraform init. And here, let me go ahead here. I'm going to type Terraform plan as if I want to deploy. Okay, this is working. Let me go back here. Our condition here, we are saying here that the version of the Terraform must be in between 1. Let us go ahead and check another Terraform version. ls. If you say tf 14 -- version, you guys will see I have Terraform 14 installed, and that I call that Terraform TF14. And if you don't know how to install different version of Terraform, please go ahead and check our playlist. I have a video on how to install Terraform on Mac, Terraform on Windows, and also Terraform in Linux. And if you are going to check the user local bin here, you guys will see that all those versions are there. This is the TF12. This is the TF 1.2.6. This is the TF14, and this is the TF 13, right? If you don't know how to install Terraform the proper way that I have here, please go ahead and check our playlist, and in there you will see how to install Terraform on Windows, Terraform on Mac, and also Terraform on Linux. And those videos also have the script that you can go ahead and trigger, and it will install this. Now, let me try to use TF14 here to kind of initialize. If I use TF14 and say init, as you guys can see, unsupported. Why? Because of the version constraint that we set here. This cannot work. If we want this to work, we can go ahead and change the version constraint. If we change this version constraint to be anything, maybe in between 0.14 and save, for instance, and go ahead again and trigger Terraform init. As you guys can see here, it is initializing the backend. Why? Because the version constraint that we set in here works, right? The version constraint is working. It is correct, because right now we are using Terraform 14. It can be anything in between, or I can even use the greater than or equal to this. And with this version constraint, if you trigger Terraform, it is going to work. But if you use something else, look, it is going to work. Now, if you use Terraform version 1 now, the version constraint, it is going to work. Why? Because 1 is, we are using the greater than or equal to 0.14.0. 1, it's above that, right? That means if you change now and use the TF1, trying to use an init with this, as you can see, I can go ahead and run the plan because the version constraint is correct. Now, let's say I change that now and trying to use the 13. It is not going to work because 13 is less than 14. 0.13 is less than 0.14, and it doesn't basically match the version constraint, right? It doesn't match the version constraint, and that is why it is not going to work, right? I mean, when you set this help a little bit, right, to enforce maybe the version that you want the team to use. You can set the version constraint and make sure that a user will always use something that is above this version. And the code here, what it's doing here is what? It's pretty simple. It is just a code here to deploy an EC2 instance in AWS. And I'm not going to trigger this and deploy any resource, because the main goal was just to understand how we can play with this. We can go ahead here and kind of set our required version and what this symbol mean. This symbol mean download any provider in between. If you type Terraform init, as we can see here, let us check the provider and see exactly the provider that it is going to download. TF1 init, as you guys can see here, it basically choose to download 3.76.1. And if we kind of check the constraint here in our main file, you guys can see it is in between. If you put this one like kind of 4 here and save, you guys will see here that right now we'll kind of run into an issue. Now, if you're trying to type Terraform init, why? We'll run into an issue because the first time that we set it, it basically downloaded the provider and it created this file called terraform.lock.acl to lock the provider so that we cannot modify that. And if you change the provider, and the only thing that you need to do here is to go ahead and make sure that you delete the .terraform where it store this provider, and you also wipe out this if you cannot delete it through the VS Code is complaining, no big deal. I can just go through my terminal here to use the ls-a because those are hidden file, and I can use the rm-rf, and I'll go ahead and kind of wipe out these files here, and they are gone. If you check again, they are gone. And if you also check it here in VS Code, they are all gone. Sometimes when you are dealing with VS Code and you have some issue, please use the command line to delete that. And here, I can go ahead now and type Terraform init one more time. As you guys can see, it kind of chose to download a 4.67.0 provider, which is in between 4, but not 5, right? But not 5. And it's going to store that provider in this file here, and that is where it's going to store it, right? And it would kind of use the lock.acl to lock the provider so that if somebody change the version, Terraform will start complaining until you modify this. That's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please let me know in the comment below. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so that when we publish a new video, you will be notified. Please go ahead and follow us on YouTube, on social media, such as TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. Thank you. Bye-bye.